Hello, everyone. This is dan-rilery for Sports Talk on Power Talk Internet Radio. This weekend, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets forced double overtime in their game against the Tennessee Volunteers. They lost after a failed two-point conversion, sealed their fate in a painful loss to start the season. But as gut-wrenching as that loss is, this nationally televised game led me to a realization, and a major one at that. College football is about to go back to running option offenses like the wishbone that were so popular in the 1970s. The coaching staff of Georgia Tech might as well have gone back to the future, keeping the game close with an offense like this. All that was missing was Michael J. Fox on the Yellow Jackets sideline. The past 10, 15, even 20 years, colleges at the Division I level have abandoned any sort of run-oriented offense in favor of the kinds the pros use. Pass on all three downs. Defenses added nickel and dime formations in response to offenses lining up with 5 receivers. Linebackers good at stopping the run aren't blue-chip prospects like they used to be. Enter the flex-bone offense of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. College football defenses, much like their pro counterparts, would prefer to attack, not sit back and just wait for the quarterback to decide whether to pitch the ball to a trailing running back. Once they have to, a blown assignment or missed tackle is a sure bet. True, there's a risk of fumbling, but that's a risk worth taking nowadays. High schools are usually the teams running the option nowadays, and defenses on those teams see opportunities to play at the college level disappear because it's not the hip offense to run at the college level anymore. As a result, teams like Georgia Tech are going to have a boatload of rushing yards when the final gun sounds on Saturday. And they're going to either keep games close or just keep the opposing offense on the sideline all day. Heck, the only reason the service academies teams are irrelevant is because blue-chip prospects don't want to risk having to serve in the military. It's not the plays they're calling in the offensive huddle. And given most quarterbacks aren't Heisman candidates anyway, option plays help teams compete. If your quarterback has an accurate but weak arm, those option plays will open up lanes to throw to. It's simple. It helps smaller schools and those with less success in football altogether compete. Now, I'm not saying every Division I school will start to adopt the option. If I know I have a Heisman candidate under center, I'm going to pass on that, pardon the pun. But honestly, the way college football is today, more and more teams will adopt it if they don't have a great quarterback or receivers. NFL defenses couldn't stop option plays when the Broncos and Dolphins started running them, and that same inexperience is now at the college level, but on a higher scale. Very easily, arguably, worse at the college level now. Defenses are built to defend the pass like their pro counterparts with 5 defensive backs at times. The wishbone, flexbone, and other option offenses are the future of college football. The attacking nature of modern defenses leave them open to these kinds of plays. I certainly see more Division II teams installing an offense like that and running them when they go up against big football schools like Alabama and Michigan. The next innovation at the collegiate level will be nothing we haven't seen, but still very eye-opening. Teams will revert back to the days of 3 backs in the backfield. The wishbone. It'll be as if the game got stuck in a time warp and we've returned to the 60s and 70s. It'll make perfect sense, too. Every defensive coordinator expects quarterbacks to pass some 65 times a game. It's not a surprise like it used to be. There is no team, college or pro, that's 50% run and 50% pass nowadays. That leaves secondaries and linebackers to just having to worry about dropping into coverage on pass plays. And frankly, it's becoming too easy for defenses to stop all these pass-happy offenses. There's a big opportunity to take advantage of these ridiculously tiny defensive backs by making them stop option runs. Offenses will wake up and eventually take advantage of this. True, it could just become a fad, or we'll just see running backs go back to 25 carries a game. But I've got a funny feeling about this. Teams have nothing to lose by trying this. As I mentioned earlier, defenses have to stop in the middle of a play on an option call and wait for the quarterback to make up his mind, and that's usually a mistake for them. What we saw with Georgia Tech last Saturday may very well be a new beginning for the sport, a sort of renaissance for football at the collegiate level, I guarantee it. This is Daniel Riley for Sports Talk on Power Talk Internet Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll be back again next week.